Hey y'all, hey, it's Coffee with Friends, and I am raw to the bone. Happy Friday, y'all. Happy Friday. We made it. All right. I came home in the middle of the week, had a day off on Wednesday, and we're already at Friday. I feel the time is just flying, y'all. We're already at the end of April. But before we get started, I'm going to remind you that it's going to be a good day. All right.
Step one, wake up early, go rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you want to be. Step four, everybody just do your thing. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day.
Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do.
The aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them.
I try to pick one
thought, have some concentration.
And if I make a mistake, it's called
education.
I try to do this every day, call it
replication. Wake up.
Today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.
Today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day.
Hey.
Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day.
What?
Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. So life ain't easy, yo. I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high,
Other times I'm barely breathing, y'all.
But you always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo.
Negative thoughts. Good morning, Stacy.
Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap
All the bad for the good in my head.
when I'm lost.
Hey, what?
So I'ma fake it till I make it.
Positive vibes are overtaken.
I got patience.
One day at a time, that's how you operate a cadence. Afloat, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes
temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation.
I live my life in my head
like a narration.
Don't expect greatness, do my best.
Man, I'll take it. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.
Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, y'all.
Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up.
Today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up. I can't believe you beat Hillbilly, Stacy.
Today's gonna be a good day.
Hey. Oh, I know why. I forgot to notify. Hey, I forgot to put my notification on Discord, but I just did that. That's probably how you beat Hillbilly on the show, because normally I send out a notification on Discord for those that are on the Discord channel that I am going live. But good morning, happy Friday. All right, so we're going to give people a little bit of time to come in so we can get into the positive word. And I have a video to play for y'all today, and I want your opinion on the video. You know, I listened to it, and I don't know. You know, this might be one of the days I get in trouble with my mouth, because sometimes I say shit. knowing I know people in the situation that I'm saying shit about. And then people want to be mad at me because I talked about, hey, hillbilly, because I talked about a topic that smells like it's in their life. And then they be like, why are you talking about me on your show? And I'll be like, I wasn't necessarily talking about you, but if the shoe was smelling in your area, maybe you need to clean up some shit. Why people get mad at me because I bring a topic to the show that seems similar to their life? Like, this is one of those platforms where we should be growing and learning. Why do people get upset when you call out some of the funky, foul smelling stuff that's going on in the world and it looks like it's them? I mean, I've been mad at lots of times, but guess what? It's not going to stop me, because I feel that people that get angry about hearing the truth are not ready to change. And since I always say I move in peace and love, right? That's a part of me loving you and hopefully bringing peace to your life. Not that my life is perfect, and I got people that tell me shit about myself and it make me grind my teeth sometimes, but then I'll be like, you know what? I want to do better. I want to be better. Right? And so I don't get mad at my friends for telling me shit. Right? It might hurt for a minute. You know, it might pinch or sting, but it gives me something to think about. Right? Because ultimately, those people that get upset when you are talking about situations in life and it looks like their situation, they're not willing to do better. You know, I find also a lot of people post stuff on social media. Oh, I'm not going to tolerate this and I'm not going to tolerate that. And I be knowing them in real life. And I'll be like, but bitch, you tolerating it. You tolerating it. You could post all the memes that you want about how you are moving in your life. But we see how you moving. And that's why I say, post all you want. But what actions are you applying in your life to make a change? You know, so I'm committed to the platform. So I mean, I'm going to accept the daggers that come with it. All right. And remember that I spread messages and I give my opinion. They're like assholes. Everybody got one. My opinions with love. I do. I'm not saying everything I say is right. I'm not even saying most of the shit I say is right. But I throw shit out there and we talk about it in a journey of healing together. Knowing better, doing better. Right? And so the journey continues. So if any of you get upset about what I'm talking about, do some self-reflecting. Do some self-reflecting. Hey, my skinny girl, Georgie. Georgie, you done faded away. Yes, girl, you were committed to your workout routine and you slimmed all the way down. I was just talking to Stacy this morning because I was like, I work out, I ride my bike, right? But I know, listen, people probably say you've been riding your bike for so long, but them legs are still legs. I naturally have big legs and I love my legs. I do. So my goal of working out is not to be skinny, right? My goal when I work out is to keep my heart health up, my flexibility there, my stamina up, elongate my life so that it fits in to the goals that I have in my life going forward. I want to travel. I want to be mobile. You know, I deal with my aches and pains by doing yoga. You know, I don't want to be one of those older women that every time I get up and sit down or try to walk somewhere, I'm looking for the next bench to sit down on. And so everybody's got their own goals for why they work out. All right. But I'm in a season, and I've been in this season for a while, that I love myself from the inside and the out. And that took some work, right? And it took me to remove myself from needing validation from other people, right? And that's why I guess I could live my life so carefree as I do, because I'm honest with myself and I love who I am and everything that I represent. I'm not perfect, but that's okay. All right. And so that's a message for y'all, as hopefully y'all are doing some self-discovery, some self-work, and you're not navigating your life based on the message we read yesterday on the outside world. You're not navigating your life looking for external validation. All right. You are navigating your life from the inside. That was a part of yesterday's message. Loving yourself from the inside. All right. And I see that in some of y'all. Georgie, I see you loving yourself, right? From the inside and out. You went through a surgery. I know what that's like, but you never stop pushing forward. All right. You committed yourself. You went live. You did your workout routine. And I love that. And I'm proud of you. Okay. I am. But I am still skinny. I have the same goals. I only work out to be able to eat Snickers ice cream daily and it not show. Baby, because I'm going to tell y'all no lie, I am a snacker. You know, it's so funny. You know, I'm not a big eater. I pick on my food, but I could take some Cheez-Its and shit to bed with me at 9:00 at night and sit up in the bed and eat my Cheez-Its. That's what the fuck I do. Okay, I'm gonna do that. All right, and I don't feel a bit guilty about it. So I'm with you, Georgie. All right, but the funny thing is, while I was in Grenada, and mom made some food. I forget whether it was. I think it was the oil down, and I made my plate, or either Jerry made my plate. I can't remember. I think he made my plate. Yes, he made my plate. And mom said, "Are you going to eat all of that?" Child, I felt judged. Okay. But guess what? I ate all of it. And I didn't feel a bit guilty about it. I didn't. Okay. It was good and I ate it. All right. So the one thing I do not do is deprive myself from the things that I want to enjoy in life. I will not. And so we're going to get into the positive message of today, because that was an extension of yesterday's message and understanding what it's like to love yourself, right? Be the lover of your life. That's what it is. That's what it looks like, you know? And this year is a good year because the year before last, I was grieving a few things. I was not in a totally happy space because I had lost some people that I was friends with. But what I've learned through my healing journey and through praying on it and continuing down this path of, deep work, that you don't lose people that were meant to be in your life. You don't. And so that calmed me, because I feel like you navigate through life, you meet people, and then they fade off. It's a time and a place, but that doesn't mean that they take the journey with you. And I'm okay with that. All right. No one will leave you that is meant for you. They won't. And so that's my little message for you before I get into the read of the day. But today is Friday, y'all. What does everybody have planned? I'm getting back the fuck on the bus on Sunday. Child, I ain't even tell my boss I gotta take Monday off. Child, this is so ghetto. I just be planning shit and doing shit like I don't have a job. Like I need a man. Well, Mom and Grenada said I need a rich man. I was like, ooh, don't make your son quit me, cause Jesus. You know, I have dreams. I manifest a lot of stuff. All right. But I'm heading out to Maryland again. I was just in Maryland 2 weeks ago where we saw the Luther Vandross Relive concert. And I'm going back to Maryland on Sunday to see Kiki Wyatt. And I know some people are like, Kiki Wyatt. I absolutely love Kiki Wyatt, right? And she is an example of how the industry is so fucked up, right? A voice like Kiki Wyatt, there's no way that it's not being heard, okay? All over the radio on a constant basis. It's no way she doesn't have a record deal where she is thriving. All right. Her voice is outstanding. And I feel that if more and more people support these R&B singers that are true singers, okay, and truly deserved a place in a spotlight, then they would get a place in the spotlight if we support them. So I was excited when I heard that she was going to be at the theater in Maryland. And so here I go. All right. So Sunday, I'm on a bus headed to Maryland. All right. And then Monday morning, heading back here. And that's it. Yeah. Hey, Cena, long time no see. Yes, Kiki has an amazing voice, Cena. I'm telling you. And so I'm really excited about it. I am. And so that's what I'm doing this weekend. All right. So Stacy, you have a foodie event. Oh, that's gonna be hot. That is going to be fire. Listen, a foodie event in Texas. See, this is why my legs are big. Okay? Because a foodie event, I'm licking all the barbecue sauce off right now. I could just taste the brisket in my mouth. I could feel it. I could feel all of it. All right. And so, Stacy, make sure you take some pictures because I want to see. You know, this is where I wish I could just get up and get on a plane and just be going places because I would just hop on a plane and go to a foodie event. That's some greedy ass shit. I know it is. I know it is. But next time, okay? Now, before we go on, I'm going to call this out at the beginning and I'll call it out at the end because this is how we support each other. June 21st, there's a 3T event presented by Fancy K. If you know our resident Fancy K, go on her IG page and go in her profile and you will see the link to the 3T event, okay? It's a Toast and Thrive, okay, event. So it's for us to get together, mingle, talk, whether you're trying to build business relationships, meet new people, you know, if you're new to the city and you want to meet new people, new connections, whatever it might be, that's the place to be on June 21st. Now, I am working it out in my mind mentally, right? As you all know, my malpractice suit has ramped up again, and I'm close to going to arbitration or whatever that is. So I'm waiting, hopefully in the next week or two, for my lawyer to let me know what's happening. If I don't hear from him in a week or two, I will call him and tell him that I have plans to go somewhere on June 21st, around June 21st. And I want to make sure that there's no court proceeding scheduled while I'm away. So I got to work a couple of things out. That is also the reason why I have not been talking about Friendsgiving and I have not been talking about end of summer soiree, because I have to prioritize, you guys. Like I love doing my events. I do. But I have to make sure that I am focused on this case that's before me. It was ramped up last year. Then it got quiet. Then it ramped up again this year. And so I'm hoping that this is the last year that I have to go through this situation, right? It's very stressful, and it's not stressful because of finances, although that can be stressful. It's stressful because when you have a traumatic event that happens in your life, right? When you speak about that event in detail, for me, it is like it's happening at that moment. And so my greatest fear with this suit coming up is to have to talk about what has happened to me all over again, okay, in front of a bunch of strangers that don't know me from a hole in the wall, right? And so I just don't want to relive it. I relive it, parts of it, in my head, visuals pass by. But to sit down and go through the series of events is wrecking my nerves, right? And some people might be like, why? Why would that bother you? Why would that bother you? Unless you're in that type of situation, you would know, right? Thank you, Cena. All right. Thank you. And so this is why I have been quiet about planning trips or whatever. But as soon as, my life gets figured out with this case, right? Then I will start ramping up again for Coffee with Friends events. But in the meantime, between time, it doesn't stop me from supporting you guys' platforms or events that you're having if I can make it. Okay? Because that's what we do for each other. All right. And so today is Friday and today is April 25th, and we are in the month of acknowledgement. So after I read this and we chat on this positive read for a few minutes, I have a video that I want to play. And I need you guys to listen to it, even if it comes up on my screen fuzzy, because I don't know why I think they want me to upgrade my plan all of a sudden, and I'm not going to do that right now. This shit is expensive enough. Okay. I'm going to share the video. If you don't see the video clearly, you can definitely hear the video. So pay attention to what the video is saying. All right. And then we will chat on that video. I found it very interesting. I shared it in advance with Debbie and Fancy because I just had to talk to somebody about it in advance. And so I sent it to them. I normally bounce my videos off of them and see what they have to say. So I can't wait to get your opinions on this video. Okay. All right. April 25th. I am willing to acknowledge the truth must be told in a way it can be heard. This almost sounds like it's not what you say, it's how you say it. The truth must be told in a way it can be heard. Let's see what they're saying. Some people are very good at using a razor blade with a smile. Their words are so smooth, so sweet, and so soft-spoken, it may take you a moment to realize that you have been cut. While you are standing there bleeding, hemorrhaging, they put the razor blade away long enough to ask you, "What's the matter, honey?" Often the person is speaking the truth, but the truth is not the issue here. How the truth is told is the issue. A sweet, gentle, smiling razor blade is still a razor blade. Do you have people in your life that tell you the truth, but they tell it to you in such a harsh way, you want to be like, fuck you. But they telling the truth, but you get angry at the way they delivered it? Most people are open to hearing the truth when it is said in a way they can hear it. People cannot hear you when you make them wrong. People cannot hear you when you attack their weakness. People cannot hear what you are saying if by saying it, you are making yourself better than they are. Do not make the mistake of believing that the people you speak to do not know what you really mean. They do. If there is one thread of judgment, of criticism, or denigration on what you say, they are not going to hear you. In fact, they are going to shut you out. If you want to ensure that people will hear you when you talk about difficult or uncomfortable situations, speak to them from the heart. Speak to them from a place of compassion and concern. See yourself as their teacher, their healer, the step to their next level of spiritual and emotional growth. See them as a part of yourself that does not like to be wrong, does not like to be criticized, does not like to be cut to shreds in the process of learning. Until today, you may have been told the truth in a stinging, biting, or cutting way that meant people could not hear you. Just for today, practice telling yourself some truth about yourself that is difficult for you to hear. When you master the art of telling yourself the truth lovingly, use what you have learned when talking to other people. Today, I am devoted to learning how to tell the truth in a gentle, compassionate, and loving way. You know, I'm ashamed to say, guilty. This is where accountability comes in. You know, I'm working on myself. This is one of the areas that I'm working on myself. Like, I find that in the last year, especially, that I process things before I respond to them. Because the pre working on myself, me, was that sharp tongue. And I think that what that has created in my life, right, is now, even when I try to come across gentle to give my opinion or advice, the people that I've used my sharp tongue against for so long, they still can't hear me, or they don't want to hear me. Like, I've noticed a pattern in a few people in my circle. Something that happened, we'll be talking, and I'll give them advice, or I'll tell them something, and they'll say everything opposite of what I'm suggesting or what I'm saying, right? And at first it used to frustrate me, because I'm like, everything I say, you throw it in the trash, or everything I say, it's like, no, I'm gonna do this instead. Everything. I've noticed there's a population of people in my life that when I say something to them, they rather do the opposite. And then what I noticed in some of these people is that later on, through observation, I realized that the advice that I had given them, that's what they're using. But they will never say, oh, that was good advice you gave me, right? Or thank you, or it worked. I'll just notice little things and be like, oh, I told that person to do that. And now I see they're doing it, or whatever the case may be. But initially, they don't want to hear it from me. And I used to get upset and annoyed. Now, I give advice less now. Now I do more listening, right? Unless they ask me, what do you think? Now, every now and again, I'll slip and throw in my advice or my opinion in a loving way. I try. And then I leave it. And even when I notice that later on they've taken my advice, or someone else gives them the same advice, they might even come back and say, oh, this person gave me this advice. And in my head, I'll be like, well, that's the same thing I told you. I used to verbalize that. I used to be like, well, that's the same fucking thing I said, but it wasn't good enough when I fucking said it. Now I just listen and I observe. And that's it. Right? Working on myself. But when I feel the need to give my opinion or advice, I try my best to do it in a way that they can hear it. Now I'm still working on myself. And so people, if you witness me saying something with a sharp tongue, I said I'm working on myself. All right. And so that's my accountability for myself. I need to continue down the road, this journey of being able to tell people things that they can hear it in a way they can hear it. All right. So that's me stepping in the guilty box. I'm just saying. Stacy said, I definitely had to work on my delivery. Truth is our personal perspective, and it is the receiver does not see it that way. Going at them hard body will not change that. And it won't. And it definitely won't. Mm-mm. It definitely won't. Have any of you ever had the experience of being the sharp tongue? And what was that like? What response did you get from the next person? Like, I've even had friends. Like, I've got a lot of friends with sharp tongue, and I guess that's why I never really paid attention to it, because we sharp tongue each other. But then as I developed new friendships, I realized that those new friendships did not communicate that way, and it was affecting our communication, right? And then there are those people that have sharp tongues and on purpose mean to hurt you. That was never me. That was never me. And I've had people in my life that had a sharp tongue that say things to hurt you on purpose without apology. Those are the ones that you remove out your life, because those are not your friends. Those are not your friends. And so again, know better, do better. All right? It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And be accountable by reflecting in your own life and see how you navigate through conversations and delivery of messages. Be accountable. Okay? And that is the message for Freestyle Friday. Okay? The truth must be told in a way it can be heard. Listen. You know, Chicago is not on here because I done cussed out Mark a couple of times. He probably said, no, you don't know how to be gentle. I'm trying. I think I cussed out Ghost a couple of times, but Ghost cussed me out once or twice. The fuck? And see, the thing is that we still love each other. Stacy said, with my son, the question I asked was, have you experienced being the one with the sharp tongue or being the receiver end of somebody with a sharp tongue? And what was the end result of that? How did it make you feel? And did you ever communicate your feelings to that person, and what was their response? Stacy said, with my son, I would go at him and he would just look at me, laugh, or shut down, totally ignoring me. Yeah. Yeah. I can see that happening. Anybody else? Anybody else had this experience? Are you the offender or have been offended? Whichever side, it doesn't matter. Who looks at, while that's floating around in the air, quickly before I forget, and don't judge me, okay? Who looks at Love and Hip Hop Atlanta? I just need one person to say they look at it. Because what the fuck, Carly Red? You know, yesterday we talked about settling for companionships as we get older, right? And if you do watch the show and you do know Carly Red, she has an engagement ring every year from a different man, right? She does get engaged a lot. And on the show, clearly her man is accused of being for the streets, right? But she doesn't care. She tells everybody, mind your business, mind your fucking business. That's my husband. That's my husband. That's my husband. Well, baby, why was I scrolling on IG? And she got a whole mugshot floating around on IG because she burglarized his home. She is charged with a felony. Now, ain't that much dick in the world? Ain't that much dick in the world that's going to make me mess up my bread? This woman, prior to doing this burglary and trespassing on this man's property, there was a restraining order filed against him, I think. And he was ordered to pay her $18,000 a month in spousal support, right? Why the fuck would I mess up my $18,000 a month to go break into his house? Like, how desperate are we out here, ladies, to have a fucking man? And this is going to marry right into the video that I'm going to play for y'all, that I need your opinions on. But how desperate are we, right, to burglarize a man's house after you have restraining orders on each other or whatever the case may be, and you get $18,000 a month? I'd have been sitting on a beach somewhere talking about thank you, cheers, $18,000 a month. I'm the fuck good. I don't need shit. If I left something in your house, you can fucking have it. How desperate are we to be in these relationships? Right. And not only that, you know the media, Stacey, they will make sure they tell her age. They threw up there 51-year-old or 50-something-year-old. And I was like, damn, did they have to tell her age? Like, when I think about shit, I be like, I love my freedom. I'm not going to jail for dick. I'm not. Well, Hillbilly, Carly Red does work, right? She owns several restaurants. She's a business owner. She has real estate property. She does work and she makes her money. This is what confuses me. You have real estate. You have a series of restaurants. Good morning, Blissfully Evolving. You have a restaurant, several restaurants, businesses, sponsors. She does work for her money. She has a daughter. She has a life and she has her own money. Why would you risk all of that for some dick? Like, I'll be confused. And on top of that, he was paying her $18K a month. I'm going to need y'all ladies to relax. When a man don't want you no more, just go on. When a woman don't want you no more, just go on. Okay? So let me get this video started for y'all because that part, Hillbilly, I'm agreeing with you 1,000% on that because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what? Why? So, needless to say, I can't wait for the next episode to come on because I want to see what the folks on the show are saying about this shit. Something is definitely wrong with her. Well, we always knew something was off with Carly. We did. But, you know, I'm just telling you what's floating out there. I mean, police records is public information. Y'all can look it up. Her mugshot is out there. All right. But let's get into this video. Let me see if I could ramp it up again. If the video does not come up clear, don't sue me. Just listen to it. You can hear it. I don't know. My application, you know, everybody greedy for money. They want me to upgrade. And I guess they changed the settings so that I can't get my good share screen clear because they want more money, but I ain't giving it. Y'all can hear it. Okay. Let me get the screen ready. I hate the fact that it fucking looks like this. Huh. I hate the fact that it looks like this. But anyway, I'm going to play it anyway, okay?
My life up. I've waited for my husband for so many years, and I'm just getting mad. What kind of world do we live in where a normal, regular girl cannot find just a regular guy out here to date?
They're telling women to be just like men, be as promiscuous as you want, just behave like a man. You know, climb the corporate ladder, get degrees. And now you have women that are in their late 30s and like, I did the corporate ladder, I have the house, I have the Tesla, I've paid off my debt, I've decorated my house beautifully, I'm a wonderful cat mom to my 3 cats. Why can't I find a man? I'm attractive. It's like, because you've basically turned yourself into a man. You've accomplished all the things that a man is supposed to accomplish to attract a woman, and now you've priced yourself out of the dating market. There's very few men out there that, again, I've heard of you, that are at your level or higher. And these guys that are at your level or higher, they're not looking for a 40-year-old boss. They want a 25-year-old hottie that looks beautiful in a bikini.
Severely, he screwed my life up. I've waited for my husband for so many years, and I'm just getting mad. What kind of world do we live in where a normal, regular girl cannot find just a regular guy out here to date?
They're telling women to be just like men, be as promiscuous as you want, just behave like a man. You know, climb the corporate ladder, get degrees. And now you have women that are in their late 30s and like, I did the corporate ladder, I have the house, I have the Tesla, I've paid off my debt, I've decorated my house beautifully, I'm a wonderful cat mom to my 3 cats. Why can't I find a man? I'm attractive. It's like, because you've basically turned yourself into a man. You've accomplished all the things that a man is supposed to accomplish to attract a woman, and now you've priced yourself out of the dating market. There's very few men out there that, again, I've heard of you, that are at your level or higher. And these guys that are at your level or higher, they're not looking for a 40-year-old boss. They want a 25-year-old hottie that looks beautiful in a bikini.
Severely, he screwed my life.
Well, what do you think? So the video starts out with a woman crying about not finding the man of her life, not being married. And the gentleman on the video is saying that, you know, society tells women to go out there and be promiscuous as men, climb the corporate ladder, get your education. And when they're in their 40s, they're established. They have their house. They have all the things that they want. And then they're looking for a man. And what he's saying is that there aren't many men that might be at your level. And if you find those men at your level, they want the 25-year-old because she looks good in her bikini. What do you think about this thought process? If you were offered a 20-year-old stud or a 50-year-old millionaire, which would you choose? Which do you think a man would choose? Great question. Right? Great question. If you were offered a 20-year-old stud or a 50-year-old millionaire, which would you choose? I'm choosing the 50-year-old because I don't fuck with children in daycare. I mean, that was an easy question for me. Okay. I'm going with somebody my age. I don't mess with people in the daycare, so I don't know if I can answer this question. But what would y'all choose? Like, do you think that this is right? I know so many women that are in my age range. I'm going to go from 45 to 60. Okay? 60 plus. That are single. And they are successful. And have challenges meeting a guy. I remember one of my friends, and don't kill me, I'm not saying no names, right? One of my friends was talking to this guy, and he didn't have a car. He didn't have his own place. And I said to her, well, why? Why? Why are you dating him? That was the first thing I said. Why is that even an option? And she was like, it's not. I don't know. This to me puts women in between a rock and a hard place, right? Because what are we supposed to do? What are women supposed to do? They want women to dumb down to get a man like, not my shit, but still. The 20-year-old is what men would choose. Why, hillbilly? Just for the bathing suit? Just because they look good in a bathing suit? Blissfully said, most men are tied to old beliefs of what men roles were supposed to be according to societal norm. Are they though? Are they? Because these men these days be like, I ain't getting married because I don't want to give a half. I ain't getting married because I don't want to deal with this. I ain't getting married because I don't want this. And I'm not doing this because I don't want this. That don't sound like old beliefs to me. Like old beliefs was men didn't mind taking care of their women. Men didn't mind providing. Men didn't push their women to pay 50%. And so which old beliefs are we talking about? That's where I get lost. Most who think with their little head instead of their big head. Right, Cheryl. Hillbilly said the problem is not knowing how to create your own life. You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't know what to do with it, it's useless. So what advice would you give the women of today who are looking for a partner? What advice would you give a woman today that is looking for a partner that's in their 40s and up? What's the advice you would give? Because I know people my age are like, I don't want nobody that ain't making a decent money. I don't want nobody that's this. I don't want nobody that's that. I don't want nobody that's this. What advice would you give a person that is looking for a partner that's in their 40s and up? Hey, Jerry Robinson, long time no see. And congratulations on the wedding, my friend. All right, I already congratulated your wife. Oh, I should have known you bring Mr. Enigma Love up in here. Long time no see, Mr. Enigma Love. You said be a lesbian. Why do you think in lesbian relationships is different? I think it's the same thing. You know, I know that I put men on here, but in lesbian relationships, it's the same thing, right? If you are a lesbian or gay, period, right? Because let's capture all of them, gay. I think the same position still stands. Jerry says, stop being masculine. What does that mean, Jerry? What does being masculine mean? Tell me. What does being masculine mean? Because I know that I have some masculine in me, right? But I had no choice, right? And so I think that men pin us to the wall for the way we are without understanding how we got here, all right? One, I was raised in a single mother home. Not that I didn't have my father around somewhere, but I was raised in a single mom home. Okay. I was the caretaker for my brother at 11 years old when he was born. Okay. Because my mother worked and she did some other work. And then I became a mother of my own and my baby daddy ended up on crack on top of having sickle cell. So between the hospital, admittance, and the crackhead disappearances, I had to step into the shoes of masculinity to keep a roof over my son's head. I didn't have a man to do that for me. And so I developed masculine ways to survive. And just because later on in life you meet a man does not mean that the things that I have gone through and the things that have built me go away. Right? And so what choice do these women have when they wind up having masculine energy, when they had no choice but to step up and be that person? Why are we being punished for it? Right? Instead of celebrating for the fact that, listen, as a woman, you were able to tap into your masculinity and you were able to make things happen. You were able to be the provider, be the protector, everything that a man would have been if he was in your life. All right. I had to bench my soft side, my feminine side for a series of years as a single mom just to be able to survive in my personal space and in the workforce. Okay. Talking about the workforce, the kind of industry that I work in, there are very few women in the organization. Okay. We are surrounded by a majority of men. It's a heavy masculine environment. And if you are in your soft era and in your feminine era at work, you'll get trampled on. So why is masculinity looked down upon on a woman, right? When she was able to achieve so much in her life. But yet, for some men, that's a turnoff. Why is that? Hillbilly said, find someone that likes to do the same things you do. You'll plan those events out better and do more together. Don't get a person that sits on the couch a lot. I sit on the couch a lot, but then I go a lot too. I'm balanced. I'm equally yoked. All right, I'm equally yoked. I sat on the couch for the last 2 days that I've been back from vacation. Shit. But I do go. Stacy said, no, it's not. There is a big difference in the regard with gay women as a gay woman. So explain it to us, Stacy. Explain it to us. Shirley says some men feel like women who owns her own, speaks her mind, and isn't depending on anyone is considered too masculine or hard to lead. It's a power struggle for the man's ego. It's a power struggle for the man's ego. Mr. Enigma and Jerry, what you got to say about that? What you got to say about that? What you got to say about that? Let me know. What you got to say? If you are arguing about men and women all the time, you are missing the relationship in life. I like it. I like it. Stacy said women do not have an issue when one achieves in a relationship. Never had that issue. So maybe Mr. Enigma is right. Be a lesbian. Well, okay. So women don't have that issue in women's relationships. They don't care how masculine or about the masculine energy of their female partner. That's what we're saying, Stacey, because I'm trying to understand. Right, Shirley, it should be a relationship that is a partnership. You know, I feel like I'm living in one of my best experiences. I have never been in a relationship where I can be completely myself, right? And there's a sense of freedom in my life right now because I'm able to be myself. I'm able to be as free as I want to be and have a person that is secure and looks at the relationship, as a partnership, instead of controlling who I am and what they need me to be. And I've never experienced that before, right? Someone has always told me how to act, what I shouldn't do, what I should wear, why I shouldn't wear something, right? How to speak. And for once in my life, I'm just being me. And I'm shocked. I get shocked sometimes because I'm like, oh, this motherfucker ain't gonna tell me to sit down and relax. Oh, I love it. But I'm never disrespectful. I'm never disrespectful. But I'm learning how to stay in my soft era. This is the other thing I'm enjoying in this aspect of my life. I finally get to live in my soft era. I don't have to be the masculine energy, right? And what I noticed is that it was based on the relationships that I was in that was keeping me in that masculine energy, right? Having to still do so much for myself in the household and not feeling as if I was protected, right? And so because I felt like that, I moved in masculine ways to make sure that my life continued as it should continue. And I know I don't like it. I want to be soft. I want to be feminine. I'm a girly girl. Okay. And by having no choice, I've got a lot of masculinity. But I am enjoying being a girly girl and I am enjoying being in my feminine space right now. But I think that is assisted by the person, by your significant other that's in your life, by the trust levels you have in them, by the fact that they show that they are standing in the forefront, by the fact that they show that they got you, they're protecting you, they're providing for you. And I don't only mean in money. And for the first time, I'm really experiencing that. And I like it. And I think a lot of women that are living in their masculine space would like it too if they found a partner that allowed them to be feminine. You know, I have another friend who said to me, you know, throughout her dating journey, that she met someone that for the first time in her life, she feels soft. Now, these are women that are in their 40s and 50s. And I'm like, damn, we had to get all the way to 40s and 50s to feel soft. What happened? What happened? And Cheryl Lee, he is, definitely secure. Because, listen, y'all see me prancing around in my bikinis, get on my exercise bike. I do me. And never had a complaint. Jerry said, God, man, woman, then children. This isn't a partnership. Too much to type. I can go on and on about women wanting a partnership. I can break down what a partnership consists of. And listen to the newly married man. Where is your wife? She's being soft somewhere. Because I want to know what the fuck she got to say when you said there is no... you said women wanting a partnership. Too much to type. There is no partnership. Like, I'm lost. I need to know. Stacy said, my question is, what are we using to define masculinity? What is the standard, y'all? Great fucking question. Come on. How are we defining masculinity? Somebody define it. I'm not even moving from this question until somebody defines it. Mr. Enigma and Jerry says, y'all got so much to say. Mr. Enigma said, be a lesbian. And Jerry Robinson is on here talking about this isn't a partnership. Please explain to us what you think the definition of masculinity is and what is the standard. Great question. Define masculinity. I'm waiting. Oh, I got a meeting. So y'all got to hurry up because I got about 15 minutes. Let me see. Blissfully said, a successful, fulfilling marriage is a business, hence a partnership with everyone doing the role that is best at it. And that could look different in every relationship. I love that. I'm waiting for the definition of masculinity. Anybody got one? Because that's a great question. It seems like people are stuck. What is masculine? How are you defining masculinity? That's what I thought. Crickets. Crickets. Nobody knows, right? See, so we just be talking. They just be throwing words around and nobody can define the standard or what masculinity is. But yet, we call out on a regular basis that we don't like it. What don't you like? We don't even know the definition of masculinity. Oh, Cheryl Lee said, definitely emotional security. You're going to hurt some feelings, Cheryl. You're going to hurt some feelings. You are going to hurt some feelings because, baby, I wasn't trying to say nothing, but that's a good response. Definitely emotional security. What else? Anybody else got a definition for what masculinity is and what is the standard for y'all? Because what makes a woman masculine? What does that even fucking mean? You know, I took it as we're able to provide, we're able to protect, we're able to stand on our own without the assistance of a man. And some men look at that as masculinity, but I'm not sure. Is that what you mean? I'm just giving my opinion of what I think it means. But what do some of you men think masculinity is? Or you don't know? Or it's just a word you throwing around to make an excuse for not showing up in your relationships in the way that you should? Or is it an excuse because you feel that you are not up to standard to be with the woman that you are attracted to. So instead of saying, oh, I'm not able to do the things for this woman that she could do for herself, and I don't think that I can add to her life, so let me just walk the fuck on. Instead of saying that, y'all say, oh, she too fucking masculine. What does it even mean? What does it even mean? You see, one of the things that I learned about myself is I never waited for anybody to pull out my chair. I never waited for anybody to open the doors for me. Nothing like that. And now I'm trying to reprogram myself and wait. I stop at the door now. Consciously, I talk to myself. When I'm walking to the car, I be like, don't grab the car door, Roar. Don't grab the car door. When I walk to a restaurant, I'm like, don't grab the door. Don't grab the door. And every now and again, I grab the door and I open up the door and I'm like, shit. When I get inside to sit down in a restaurant, I have to tell myself, don't grab your chair. Don't touch your chair. Because guess what? I was trained to pull out my own chair. I was trained to open up my own doors. Not realizing that maybe he should have been doing it and he didn't do it. And so now, now I'm learning. I'm learning. So men, be kinder on us women that are out here that have grown up without choices to be the women that we are. And instead of looking at it as a negative attribute, why don't you look at it as a positive attribute? Because however you're defining masculinity, right? However you're defining it, because we still don't know, right? That woman was able to survive and maintain her lifestyle in her children's lifestyle, okay? Without a man's assistance and not by choice in many cases. But instead of celebrating that, we look upon that as negative and we call it a name, masculine. But yet nobody has defined it. This is probably why there's pee and doo-doo in the dating pool. Good morning, Theo. This is probably why there's pee and doo-doo in the dating pool, because we just throwing around words without knowing the meaning. And in some cases, I think it's an excuse for some men to not step up to the plate and do the right fucking thing. But that's my opinion. And opinions are like assholes. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was able to answer that. Interesting. Okay. The men got quiet like I thought. Very quiet. And that's the message for today. We started out with reading from our message, and we talked about tell the truth in a way that we can hear it, right? It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Are you the one with the sharp tongue? Do you wonder why people in your life and in your circle don't listen to what you say? And then we talked about the standards of being in a relationship. And I shared a video that showed a woman crying because she has not found a significant other. And she wants to know what it's going to take for her to find a good man. And the man came behind her and explained why women in their 40s and up are having trouble finding a good man, because his reasoning was because women are out here getting educated, climbing the corporate ladder, being as promiscuous as the men. And by the time we start looking for a settle down situation, the men don't want us because we have our own houses, we have our own decorations, We have our jobs, financially maybe secure. And he said men don't want that. They want the 25-year-old that's still rocking the bikini. That sounds fucking crazy to me. That absolutely sounds fucking crazy to me. If a man feels a woman is too masculine, he's usually looking for someone to control, not love and share a life with. Say that shit. Say that shit. Okay? Say that. Ain't no damn way. And I guess this is the masculine side of me, because since y'all haven't defined it. Ain't no fucking way a man is going to come into my life and try to control me ever again. Because I've had one and still had to work and still had to pay 50% of the bills, and you still wanted me to be soft and feminine, and you still wanted to control me. No fucking way. No fucking way. And I don't think that that's masculine. I just don't think being controlled is a true partnership. So that's something to marinate on for y'all asses. And Jerry Robinson, you just got married, so behave. The fuck? Behave. But that's the message for y'all today. I have a meeting in 15 minutes that I got to ramp up for and get ready for. But this is a happy Friday, y'all. The sun is out over here. I don't know what the fuck it's doing in Maryland, North Carolina, Texas, West Virginia. But the sun is kind of out. It's a little hazy. But the weather is breaking. Spring is kind of fighting for its life right now. And I like it. Okay. And so I'm asking that you guys enjoy the weekend, navigate through it safely, always move with peace and love, and continue to work on the areas of your life that needs work. None of us are perfect. Every one of us needs some work, right? But what we need to get away from is stop throwing around these fucking words like masculinity when we don't even know what the fucking definition is. Because not one man on here was able to describe it. That's a true tell sign. That is just bullshit. Oh, okay. Thank you, Theo, for jumping on. I appreciate that. It's bullshit. But with that, y'all, I'm going to bid y'all a farewell. All right. I'm not going to be able to do the show on Monday because I'm going to be on the bus coming back from Maryland Monday morning. And so by the time I get home, it's probably going to be like 3:00 in the afternoon. But you will see evidence of the Kiki Wyatt concert because you know me, I'm always filming and videoing. And so Maria and I are getting on the bus Sunday morning, and we're heading out to Maryland. We have our hotel room. We have our tickets for the concert. And so everything is everything. All right. And so with that, y'all, I'm going to send y'all out with some good vibes and remind you, no matter how low. Cheryl Lee said, I said the men. And the woman had to give the definition. Okay, before I play my goodbye song, let's just see what Cheryl Lee said. Because, baby, I was waiting for the men to say. But as usual, the women step into the room and then we get blamed for being masculine. This is some bullshit, okay? Shirley said, in my opinion, masculinity is a person who had character, balance, emotional security, and not stuck on having to control because they know thyself. And what's wrong with that? That should be a good attribute, no? I would think. Thank you for that, Shirley. I appreciate that. I like that definition. But baby, y'all move safe and move with peace and love, and no matter.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go.
Huh?
Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
And I don't. This is Coffee with Friends, and I am raw to D-Bone. Get this message on the way out. Y'all gonna get the whole song today, because it's Friday, y'all. Huh? Hustle hard. I've been making moves. Huh?
To the system, I don't wanna be a slave.
I've been doing shit
my way, on the highway, and in the driveway is a nice way.
Huh?
Cause I'm down through the climb, I invite pain. You never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain
anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredients. Hey!
Better see with the negativity, but I just gotta right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.
Make sure y'all give me the thumbs up on your way out.
You got a mind, but even that can change. You can flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say,
fake it till you make it, eh?
And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On the
come on, never slow yourself down.
Never slow yourself down.
You can do some more.
Push past all the pain and you find it good. Open it up and finally explore everything that you found you can never do before.
Hey!
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Even when you feel low,